Did you know there's a weapon that doesn't really shoot bullets, and yet it terrorized nations on an entirely different level? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal might change the way you see the concept of firearms altogether. I'm talking about the flamethrower. That's right, a gun designed to spit fire, literally. Sounds like something out of science fiction, right? Well, it's as real as it gets, and the story behind it is absolutely fascinating. So picture this. It's early in the 20th century. While other weapons are becoming more fine-tuned, more accurate, the flamethrower burst onto the scene like a fiery anomaly, defying expectations and changing the dynamic of warfare forever. Here's a moment of contemplation. Paths weren't being blown apart. They were being set ablaze. Let me explain how it got its start and how it carved its fiery niche in the annals of history. The idea of weaponized fire isn't as new as you might think. This concept dates to ancient warfare, like the Greek fire, a mysterious, flammable substance reportedly used by the Byzantine Empire to ward off naval invasions. Ancient sailors desperately tried to extinguish it, but Greek fire notoriously burned even on water. It was a terrible, fear-inducing weapon, although it mysteriously disappeared over the centuries. Fast forward a couple of millennia, and the modern flamethrower emerged during World War I. Here's where it gets real. The flamethrower as we know it was brought to life by a German inventor named Richard Fiedler. His creation consisted of a backpack fuel tank attached to a hose and nozzle. Compressed air shot the fuel, a flammable mixture, through the hose, and then it was ignited at the tip. Just visualize for a second. This device allowed soldiers to project a stream of raging fire up to 20 meters or more. In the trenches of World War I, this was nothing short of revolutionary. Trenches were no longer safe hiding spots when a wave of flame could sweep through, consuming everything and everyone in its path. For those of you who wonder about the psychological impact, well, it was absolutely devastating. Imagine being trapped in a fortified bunker or a trench only to discover advancing soldiers wielding flames. The sight alone shook even the bravest hearts. And here's an almost unbelievable fact. Some soldiers reported surrendering at the mere sight of a flamethrower. It was that horrifying. But the story doesn't stop in WWI. The flamethrower truly matured during World War II. Both the Axis and Allied forces had flamethrower units. The Japanese used flame-projecting tanks, while the Americans perfected portable flamethrowers like the M2 flamethrower. Its applications became more sophisticated, from clearing bunkers to eradicating dense jungle cover. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Fire. Isn't the user of the flamethrower putting themselves in danger, carrying this flammable device on their back? Astutely observed. Flamethrower operators were indeed prime targets for the enemy. No surprise there, right? Take out the guy carrying the fire-spewing device and it becomes, well, useless. This unavoidable risk didn't deter brave operators from carrying out missions that no other weapon could accomplish. Let's pause quickly because here's a mind-boggling stat for you. The fuel mixture in flamethrowers burned at temperatures upwards of 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than molten lava. And its effectiveness came not only from its sheer destructive power, but from a nearly indescribable ability to inspire primal fear. Even so, the flamethrower wasn't without its flaws. It was heavy, cumbersome, and as we've discussed, incredibly risky for the users themselves. Tanks fitted with flamethrowers helped mitigate some of these downsides, but even then, they had limitations. By the late 1970s, many armies around the world began phasing out the flamethrower as a frontline weapon. Why? Advances in other technologies rendered it less crucial. Napalm and other weapon systems could offer widespread fiery destruction without the need for a soldier to stand in harm's way. But military use wasn't the end of the story. What you might not know is that the flamethrower found a second life outside of warfare. That's right. In agriculture and land management, flamethrowers became tools to clear unwanted weeds or underbrush. In fact, some commercial farmers today use smaller, safe variants to burn away invasive plant growth. And of course, let's not forget its place in pop culture. Think of flamethrowers in movies, video games, and TV shows. They've become iconic symbols of fiery destruction and unbridled chaos. One more thing. Did you know that a modern entrepreneur, none other than Elon Musk, brought the flamethrower to the limelight again? Through his company, The Boring Company, Musk sold what was officially named Not a Flamethrower. A rather tame version, mind you, but nonetheless marketed as a flamethrower. People around the world bought it just for the novelty, and they quickly started popping up in YouTube videos and social media posts. It created an electrifying buzz, proving that the allure of controlled firepower still burns bright in the human psyche, even in today's highly advanced tech age. And if you're wondering, yes, flamethrowers are generally legal to own in the United States in many states. Surprised? Some states have restrictions, but as wild as it seems, people can and do own flamethrowers completely legally for safe recreational purposes, provided they don't stray into unlawful activities, of course. So why does this matter? The flamethrower represents one of the most primal concepts in weaponry blended with dangerous ingenuity. It's terrifying, practical, and ultimately thought-provoking. From the battlefields of world wars to pop culture fame and modern legal ownership, the flamethrower is a testament to humanity's ability to harness and control a force as elemental as fire itself. So the next time someone talks about firearms, you can tilt your head and say, "Ever heard of the gun that spits fire?" Literally. It's not just fascinating, it's historic, terrifying, and yes, oddly captivating all at once. That's the flamethrower for you. Thanks for watching, and if you're as enthralled by firepower history as I am, make sure to like and subscribe for more jaw-dropping firearm facts. Until next time, stay curious.